In the heart of a bustling Indian town, where traders shouted, prices and temple bells echoed, through narrow lanes lived Aarav, a curious 13-year-old boy. His father, Ramesh, was a respected spice merchant, known for his sharp tongue and louder presence in the market. Aarav grew up surrounded by noise, voices bargaining, carts rumbling, vendors arguing. Silence in his world was rare and suspicious. Only the guilty stay quiet. His father often said, "Noise proves worth." But deep inside, Aarav often felt overwhelmed by the chaos. He dreamed of distant hills and still lakes, unsure why peace seemed so alluring. During the annual temple festival, Aarav's father suffered a minor stroke while arguing with a customer. Though he recovered, he could no longer manage the stall with his usual intensity. "Learn the trade," Ramesh told Aarav. "Speak louder, bargain better, never let silence win." For weeks, Aarav tried. He mimicked his father's tone, learned pricing tricks, and stood in the sun calling out deals. Yet, something in him resisted the noise. One morning, while delivering saffron to the monastery, Aarav noticed an old monk sitting alone under a banyan tree. He wore white robes, eyes closed, unmoving, like a statue carved from serenity. Aarav asked a novice nearby, "Why doesn't he speak?" The novice smiled. "Because he listens better than all of us." Aarav lingered curiously. He returned the next day, then the next. Back home, Aarav's father grew frustrated. "You waste hours with that mute old man. Silence won't earn you a living." Aarav tried to explain, but words failed him. He didn't yet understand why he felt drawn to the monk. He only knew something within him was waking. That night, he overheard neighbors gossiping. "The merchant's boy is losing his path. He will ruin the shop." Shame filled Aarav. He stopped visiting the monastery. The noise of guilt was louder than any bell. Days later, Aarav was sent again to deliver turmeric to the monks. This time, he found a quiet monk walking slowly along the riverbank. Birds chirped, leaves rustled, and the monk stood still, watching a droplet fall from a leaf into water. "You hear everything?" Aarav whispered, breaking silence. The monk turned and finally spoke, "Only when I stop speaking." That one sentence cut through Aarav's confusion like sunlight through mist. He asked, "Will you teach me?" The monk nodded. Aarav began spending his early mornings at the monastery. The monk didn't lecture, he guided. He taught Aarav to sit in silence, breathe deeply, observe thoughts without judgment. No mantras, no sermons. "True change begins when noise ends," he said. At first, Aarav struggled. His mind swirled with market numbers, school worries, memories of thoughts. But gradually, silence became a friend. At the spice shop, Aarav began applying what he learned. He stopped rushing deals, listened carefully to customers, began using fewer words but with clarity. Some laughed. "The boy thinks he's a sage." Others returned, drawn by his calm presence. His father watched quietly. He didn't understand, but he didn't interfere. Aarav's closest friend, Menon, teased him, "Don't become boring, Aarav. Speak up." Yet, when Menon faced anxiety before exams, it was Aarav who helped him sit quietly under the neem tree, breathing steadily, calming his fear. Still doubt remained. One afternoon, a wealthy customer mocked him. "Speak louder, boy. You are too soft to trade." Aarav replied gently, I am not here to convince, I am here to serve. The customer left, but returned days later. You were right, I want peace more than deals. The monk invited Aarav on a temple retreat in the hills. There, Aarav met other monks and even visiting scholars. He realized silence wasn't weakness, it was a wisdom wrapped in discipline. He wrote his reflection in a journal. Noise tells the world who you are. Silence helps you discover it first. When he returned to town, he started a small youth circle called Peace Sessions, where he taught breathing and reflection to school children and traders alike. Ramesh's shop was targeted by a competitor spreading false rumors. Sales dropped. His father panicked. Now speak, Aarav. Fight back. Defend our name. Aarav refused. Instead, he invited a competitor's son to join their peace sessions. Confused, the boy joined. 1 week later, his father sent a letter of apology. He acted from fear, not understanding. Ramesh broke down. You defend me with silence. Aarav replied, with presence. The shop regained trust. Customers spoke not only of spices but of peace. Nearby towns sent youth to join Aarav's sessions. Even the town priest praised Aarav's quiet revolution. But Aarav wasn't chasing titles. He returned each morning to the monk with gratitude. You have taught me to be a monk in the market, he said. The monk smiled, then went silent again. Years passed. Aarav never became loud, but his words carried weight. The shop expanded. Menon became his business partner. They opened a library besides the shop, a quiet space for reflection. Old Ramesh sat by the door counting coins. My son changed everything without a noise. On his 25th birthday, Aarav stood in the town square and gave his first public speech. He spoke softly. My father taught me the power of trade. My mentor taught me the power of stillness. I have learned that to create outer change, we must nurture inner peace. He announced a new initiative, the Silent Schools Project, bringing mindfulness and values-based learning to villages. The crowd used to fanfare, fell silent and moved. He didn't need applause. He saw change in their eyes. Aarav's journey became legend, but he remained humble, a trader, a listener, a teacher of silence. Every morning, he lit a lamp before the banyan tree where the monk once sat. The monk had passed, but his wisdom echoed in every breath of Aarav's students. And as traders yelled prices and charts rumbled through towns, a quiet space remained, reminding all who passed. Don't fear the silence. Within it lies the power to change the world. Moral of the story: be the change to see the change. Transformation begins not through noise or battle, but through clarity, presence, and the courage to sit with silence. In listening, we learn. In stillness, we lead.